Good early afternoon on January 2nd, 2018. Since we have ended the Whip It Up Wednesday, some of the same people involved with that have decided to get together and do the January Pantry Challenge. All this means is that as much as possible, we use things that we have on hand, whether we bought them at the store, we canned them, we dehydrated them, they're in their fridge, in our refrigerator, in our deep freeze. Fridge and refrigerator are the same thing. The refrigerator, freezer, a deep freeze, a cold cellar if you have one, or your dry pantry. The thing is that you've purchased them. Now, some of us, like me, will probably be buying dairy and fresh vegetables. I have learned in preparing for this challenge that I really should stop with the jam and jelly and preserves and concentrate on veggies and things like that. So another thing that I like about this is it's encouraging me to try things that I've put on the back burner for a while, knowing that I want to try them. But, you know, there's always an excuse to go with the old tried and true. So today I'm going to make lentil stew. Now, I am using canned stock, lentils. I had in my pantry for probably better not known how long. The recipe that I'm basing this on called for diced tomatoes. I don't have any, so I'm using home canned crushed tomatoes. This little jar or container has bay leaves, thyme, pepper, and some of my main ingredients. I'm using dehydrated carrots, dehydrated celery, dehydrated minced garlic, and I didn't have any dehydrated minced onion, but my onion powder is kind of on the thick side or the bigger side, so I'm using that and calling it good. And when the soup or stew is almost ready, I'll add some dehydrated spinach, which, believe me, is one of the best things on the planet. Now, something that isn't called for in the recipe that I am basing this on was eggplant. And I love eggplant, and I happen to have some dehydrated eggplant, so that's going in here too. Now, one thing about using dehydrated products is you don't have to start by sauteing garlic and onion, and I have no problem with that, and heaven knows it really does make the house smell good. But frankly, I just don't have time for that today. I'm trying to get caught up on work. So all you need to do is dump everything in a large pot. Oh, it also calls for Worcestershire. I don't make Worcestershire sauce yet. I am looking into that. So we have the lentils in there. I'll throw in this combination of dehydrated herbs, veggies, etc., etc. The tomatoes. Again, it called for diced. I didn't have any. I'm using crushed. It also called for a bit more than what is in that jar. That's a half-pint jar. If I decide it needs more, I'll add some additional liquid if necessary, as well as some tomato powder. If you do not have tomato powder on your shelf, you really should think about adding it. I don't recall exactly how much of this you're supposed to use, but there's not much in the bottle. So we'll call that good. Throw in the eggplant. This is a quart of stock. It's chicken stock because I needed to get it out of the refrigerator. Ordinarily, I would probably have gone with the vegetable stock, which reminds me I need to make more vegetable stock, which I should probably start collecting my vegetable peelings, etc. gotten a little low on that. I went through a spate where I made a lot of stock. Okay. And here we go. All ready to go on a stove. Covered. Probably on medium high. I don't know that it said what it's supposed to be on. And then at dinner time, I'm going to be ready to eat. It's so cold here. It's not even funny. And it's going to get colder. So I thought this would be a great way to start the cold year. It was minus 18 this morning. That's just stupid. I have some sourdough bread rising, but it's doing its first rise, so I don't think it's going to be ready for dinner unless I pull out the proofer, and I really don't want to do that. But if necessary, I shall. So I will bring you back when the soup is done and it's time to eat. Bye. Well, there it is, dinner. There's my lentil stew. I did add some additional, or added some tomato powder because it didn't quite have as big a tomato taste as I wanted it to have. And I added spinach at the end, as well as a glug, that's the technical term, of apple cider vinegar. You can also use red wine vinegar if you want, but I love apple cider vinegar. It's one of the best things in the world, and one of these days I'll learn how to make it, but don't hold your breath. It's quite good. Oh, I also added red pepper flakes because, hey, come on, it's me. There's going to be red pepper flakes. And it tastes really, really good. I have had lentils before, but I don't cook with them very often. I think that's going to change from now on. And my bread did get done, but it's waiting to cool. And then I'll snarf that down. So this is my first video for the January Pantry Challenge. And I like how it's making me think of the things that I have in my pantry in different ways so I don't get bored. So thank you for watching.